Are we gonna get in trouble today? Not that I want to, just seems to happen around you, is all.
As always, I am at your disposal. Anything you'd like to discuss? Nothing too out of the ordinary. Just your run-of-the-mill vicar with a... that's what my parents called it. I grew up in a pit of a town much like Edgewater. I was destined to be a laborer like my parents, but I was infected early. My parents, ironically. They internalized the precepts of scientism like no one I've ever known. They had a pure faith. I envied that. I wanted that peace. They thought I was fighting the plan, should have accepted my lot. The simple version is this. The force which we call the Grand Architect, everything flows from the equation, or in layman's terms, the grand plan. The answers to these questions don't really matter. The equation, the plan. The plan is not one rigid path. There are a variety of multitudes contained within it. Some choices make the path smoother, some rougher. You can even... It's like an unbreakable elastic band. It will only...
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. The board would like to remind spacers and other travelers that passage to Monarch is restricted for your protection. Canyons of acid and sulfur rain are the least of the horrors plaguing the surface of Monarch. Anarchists live as one with the animals, lawless, savage, and unemployed.
Yeah, I've done work for Sublate. Need to pay the bills somehow.
And threaten our hard-working citizens. This has been Halcyon News, your only source for news in the Halcyon colony.
Step lively, Miss Holcomb.
I'm not winded. Honest. My, boot was untied.
Would hate for you to get left behind, or architect forbid, because try not to be distracted by the glare of the adverts. Lots of unsavory types about.
You know that sound when you've snapped on an injector clip? I got a full line of weapon modifications.
wondering what they do with their waste. I guess they just chuck it down here. Where's it all go? How about I stay up top? You know, keep watch, okay?
Yes, you caught me ruminating. What's occupied?
Go back to Byzantium, you gold.
Have you seen this man? Reward offered for information needed. Information leading to the capture of women terrorists in East Wells. Report any sightings to the local board editor.
When might we expect you out here again? Can't
I had a question about your plan, Mr. Vicar.
Of course. The cosmos is generated and directed by the universal equation, also known as the Grand Plan. By contemplating the teleological order of things, one can achieve verity. Oh, right. You had a question?
Never mind. Got it.
Rizzo's Purple Berry Crunch, Sugar Tail Cakes, and Purple Berry flavored Power Nuggets. Now with 12%.
This is Halcyon.
Thought there'd be more machinery. Must be housed on a sublevel.
Junlei Tennyson. I'm captain around here, but chief to my friends. Hope you don't mind the... No, it isn't. It's a mess. But just so we understand each other, I'm the final word on the ship. The Mardits, the crew, the engineers, they're... Good. Don't go making trouble, and chances are you won't... So what brings you to Groundbreaker? I'm curious, even though 9 times out of 10, the answer... Interesting. The powers that be paint an ugly picture of Monarch. Critters and such. We see a lot of the same faces coming and going. Most of them board spies and corporate sprats. Makes it hard to trust...
What? I didn't think you just...
Parvati, is it? That's a lovely name. What can I do for you?
I was just thinking, I haven't got much experience working with actual, real...
Junlei is fine.
Force of habit, I guess. Okay. Since you run a whole space station, I was wondering...
I'd be happy to make the time, Parvati.
Right. In person. Sure thing, Captain. Wow, great. I'll do that then. Messages. Couldn't have done it without your moral support, Captain.
Now, if there's nothing else, there are other parts of... Groundbreaker's radiators need replacement parts. They're... Only the board has access to new parts. None. Every time I give in to the board, Groundbreaker loses its... The board isn't helping, and my resources are spread thin. If I don't get those radiators back on... Reasonable, huh? That's... According to my grandmother's old schematics, the parts we need should be... Hold on. There's something you should know. The back bays are on a lower deck, long abandoned and... Good. Once you've obtained the parts, we can...
Yeah, huh?
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following...
Hey, McRed, were you expecting any company?
A neighbor from above approaches our realm. Back away now, or you'll parley with the king. Look at this ripe piece of meat. Time to feed the flame.
Is this what carbon monoxide poisoning looks like?
speaking for myself, Captain, I am not of a mind to be murdered.
You came with the crew. Welcome. We got plenty. Woo! Look at the courage on this one.
That's right, sir. Just the parts. We'll be in and out in a jiff. You won't...
Tennyson just keeps feeding the furnace, don't she? We're still playing. You don't just ask a king for a favor when you're standing in his... Under its skin, this ship is all poison. You've got the run of the kingdom. Up those stairs you'll find... Lay it on me, boss. I'm good for it. You can come and go in my little kingdom.
Even the proverbial unwashed masses would turn their noses up at this place. Would cut them off.
Don't give it a name. What are you thinking? Hasn't got a heart? Not like us. It's my birthday.
Oh yeah? Fuck your birthday.
Junlei's gonna be pleased as pie when we show her these.
These are the good stuff. I've been tripping for days.
Careful with that shit. You'll end up as crazy.
Neighbor from above. Listen to the fire of those convictions. Alive or dead. Rare or medium.
You've returned, and in one piece. Color me impressed. Good work. I'll take those. I need you to head through the large door at the far end of engineering. There's a terminal in the back. Activate it when I call over the ship's PA. And bring weapons. More than a few. Less than a hive. We were salvaging parts from a ship. Turned out there were eggs inside.
Don't worry, Miss Junlei. We'll be super gentle with the ship. You don't got a thing to worry about. I mean, aside from fires and such.
I'm genuinely heartened to hear that. Thank you.
Controls are in the back of the machinery shaft area. Keep clear of the radiators. You don't need to kill the mass military, but I'd be my Song tells me the security mechanicals booted up and killed a bunch of mantis. Bad news. Diagnostic says they're circuit boards. So they're not too picky about who they kill next. Sneak fast if you can. Shoot back if you can.
We were destined to prevail.
Sister,
Watch out!
processing image security.
That's the terminal. I have the parts in position on my side. Go ahead and cycle the droplet pumps. And if you don't Done. The temperatures are dropping. Stop by once you found your way out of there. Groundbreaker owes you thanks.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regular...
My boards are returning to green. What a weight that is off my shoulders. I don't normally tolerate outside. The temperature should be dropping as we speak. I'll see to it the crew knows who kept... If you've got time, I believe Edna has a comms issue that could use your attention. I've also authorized Doc and Fleur... Frustrating. Everything down to the circuit boards is past warranty, so I have... Plus, there's no time to train my successor or document fixes in a way that anyone... Sure is. The Tennysons came over on the Groundbreaker. My grandmother, Chief Gang, kept it together during the crossing. I was promoted only recently, when my mom died.
They must have been amazing people to have taught you all you know.
That means a lot coming from... It was different knowing that I couldn't turn to anyone who could answer the tough questions for me. Maybe you can see why I'm protective of Groundbreaker. This ship is family.
Oh, gosh. I don't know. I'm really...
Don't sell yourself short. It doesn't take a seasoned pro to tinker on Groundbreaker. Just, we're always thirsting for help. If you could find your way around this labyrinth of ducts and panels... You see any bite-sized Tennyson children running around? The next captain won't have my heritage. I'll have to foster that talent from... I hope that was a joke, Captain. I gelded that thing years ago. Now it brews a stim that goes down stronger than Nan or Spank. You've got my attention. You're right, I don't. The board is after two things, bits and... I placate them when I have something to offer, but I can also be a real hard-ass. It'd be a joy if I could kick out the... Too much of Groundbreaker's income is flowing in the wrong direction. You've got my attention.
Groundbreaker's safe from melting to bits now.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly...
If you're hungry, you've come to the right place. They're terror-fried to lock in the juices. Fresh from the grinder, any hour.
Following that series? The Hunt for the Wimbrel?
Sublight Salvage. Their front looks surprisingly on the up and up.
You reckon we can shop here, or is it all spoke for?
CNP, Boston, baked beans. But you need to eat.
Are you listening to me, Emperor?
Is it just me, or is Groundbreaker feeling extra chilly? Maybe you oughta... Oh, and it's not the best. A lot of slogans to keep track of. Heard of it? My orientation Aetherwave showed that famous Saltuna cannery.
That's true.
Yeah. I hope they're gonna be okay.
That's a spacious choice, Spear. Take what you have, polish it up. So, what can I get you? Some soap? Everyone look. Have a look.
If it's between the Unreliable and the Rest and Go, I believe I'll sleep on the ship.
Bless my heart. You here for a particular reason? Or did the neighbors tell you how good my sugar cookies are? Those have been the height of illegality since Stellar Bay turned their noses up at the board. You and I could be thrown to the void just for discussing such a transaction. Lucky for us, Groundbreaker's a free port. We're up now. I only have the one nav key, and they're hard to come by these days. Phineas, that old kook. He was quite the dancer back in his prime. Real light in the wallet, too. He still owes me a small fortune. Well, I find I'm in need of a ship captain with a little moral flexibility. Do you know Edna, over in engineering? Sweet as a pea, that one. She sent me a recording of a distress signal she'd... Curious thing is, it came from an outpost called Can't say I know for sure.
Sounds like someone poking into somewhere they shouldn't be got into a spot of...
Comm centers don't operate themselves, Captain. Someone had to...
Those corps are cleverer than all get out. Edna didn't seem to think so, and I trust the dear girl's judgment. Well, maybe not in men, but she knows her comms. So, like as not, someone's been down there recently. And if someone set up shop in Roseway, Maybe whatever they're hiding went to heck, and now they need a few... If you should find a secret worth selling, might be I could find a buyer. Corporate bigwigs'll... The more we got the corps fighting each other, the less time... My goodness, aren't you quick on the up? Should you find yourself responding to a certain distress call, and in so doing find yourself... Then we ought to have a chat over a pot of tea in my... Law bless your atoms. Here's a copy of the... Don't forget to come find old Gla... I found a handsome ceramic mandapillar at a salvage...
Children again?
Hmm?
It's almost time for today's episode of the Chairman's... What do you want, then? That's right, dearie. The only independent station in the... Though for how long, I can't... The board can't abide a community. Go right ahead. Oh, a little of this, a little of that. I also knit throw pillows stuffed with the hair of famous tossball players.
What about non-famous players? I earned quite a reputation as a fifth back during...
You do have a favorite, but that's not what you wanted to talk about. Ask the common folk, and they'll tell you it's on account of all the monsters on Monarch. Because that's what the board... I think they made some fool mistake that would make them look bad to the rest of the colony. And those board folk are real prideful-like. But old Gladys knows the score. The whole colony's not... That's why we gotta keep them from getting their grubby mitts on... Probably. Every once in a while, we get these snippets of radio chat. Claims he's transmitting from Monarch. But who knows if that's... Anytime, sweetheart. You know where to find me. Here, take a candy with you. If you're here for this week's magazine club... Yes, dearie? Take that darling ship of yours down to Rose. Shouldn't be too tough. Straight to the point, eh? Anytime, sweetheart.
Halcyon News. We interrupt your regular...
How do you do? And welcome to the Rest and Go. Sorry. Didn't quite catch that. Glass ear? Sorry. Nothing to fear. Sorry again. Huh? What? Huh. Now that I heard. Of course, most of our supplies come and go through merchants. I try and steer clear of that creepy fellow in the moon mask. If there's a cost...
I know she's in there, Mburu.
See, indeed, Wordsworth. It's not the worst unless it's worse.
is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story.
CNP near maple syrup. It's near this.
I know she's in. You can't keep me out of there.
Please don't make a scene, Dr. Fenhill.
I am not making a scene.
Hello. Junlei called up from engineering. Said, now is there something... A better selection than you'll find on the promenade deck. And
Can't say I've seen you before. If you're here to better yourself, you'll have to wait. We're having a spot. He must be referring to Irion. I'm sure I'm beginning to wonder if I'm ever gonna get my service Surgery, mostly. Medical personnel are difficult to... The board won't let their doctors and nurses station here, and they own all the medical schools. Everyone on staff here on Groundbreaker was trained by me or Idris. We're good, don't get me wrong. I'd be grateful if you'd spare the time. Last he told me, he was taking a shortcut by Scylla, an asteroid in the Caribbean. You look out, though. The place is probably crawled.
CNP chicken and potato.
Still betting on the tossball series? I know you were trying to stop me.
Neighbor from above. What brings you to my little moonlight kingdom? Listen to the fire, alive. My flame? Shit. Little Flick here got me started on the pyro.
Don't worry, Mr. McRed. We'll treat Mr. Flick extra nice on account of he's your friend.
You call your lighter Little Flick?
I'll miss my baby pyro, but it beats losing my head. Keen eyes you got there. Sunita gave me this lighter. We had a... Lay it on me, boss. I'm good for it. Ship got impounded. The crew and I racked up a debt while we were... That's bureaucracy for... Am I your dark reflection? Shit, must be getting...
How goes the hunt? I've been ruminating on it, and I decided, if you ain't... Nothing excessive, mind you, but the scoundrel deserves a lot. He tell you that, did he? I might have kicked his ass from one end of the groundbreaker to the other a few years back. Here's the bounty payout. Nice work down there. With any luck, we can hire more sharp-eyed bounty hunters. With that bastard McRed dead, there ain't much else.
Keep your sights out, friend.
Nice. Nicely done. There it is. Just yank the drive, and I'll do the rest. Now that we have the data cartridge, I can finally find out where that scholar I'm looking for ended up.
There goes Purpleberry Punch. You want a punch? You got your punch right here.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled...
Got it. His name is Reginald Cheney, and he joined a sublight salvage crew. Only he's... Ah, yes. Here. There's a domicile on Monarch in Fallbrook. I should have guessed. What better place to lay low? I admit it was a bit of a long shot, but when you've spent as many hours as I have in...
Rizzo's knock you out bar. Milk chocolate bar with caramel and ghee-free nuts in it. It's time for a KYO.
Have either of the assault cruisers ever put into...
Hey there, you mind stepping back? This charming little ship's been impounded and I'm afraid... I'd surely love to, but that's just not my bailiwick. You'll want to have words with our representative. Gosh, I wouldn't dream of it.
She's a good ship, ma'am. Most...
Happy to hear it. Have yourself a pleasant day.
Hey, be careful with those crates, huh?
Rizzo's mock apple cider. A hard cider for a hard
Ah, the board. Organized, efficient, competent. Well, mostly.
For the following story.
I think everything in here is worth more than I made in my whole life.
To defend your corporate township from the dangers of alien wildlife.
Ah, yes. Wheeler messaged me you were coming. You must be the captain of the Unreliable, a vessel that you... Has something happened? Oh no, this is terrible. My... Oh, Alec. He was my dearest friend. You have his ship, you must know. That picture of us on the promenade, me hugging him, Ah, that's just like him. Tell me. No! How dreadful. That was always Alex's greatest fear, you know. Right. You're going important place. There, I've removed the flag from your ship. I'm terribly... Alex promised to tell me the location of Phineas Wells. I'm sure you've seen his wanted posters all over the colony. You haven't read the posters? He's a terrorist, a thief, a mad... Well, Alex knew, or he said he did. And you have his ship. Maybe he kept some... That's... Well, that's just... Oh, I'm sorry. This is terrible. It's personal business, I'm afraid. Information on the whereabouts of Phineas Wells would go a long way. It's fine, really. It's... Now, if you've nothing else, please see yourself out.
Heard from the lasses down on 22 that you...
Hey, you got a second? Hey, we don't know each other yet, but I'm Felix Millstone. I was in the middle of a... I noticed your ship in port. Got to thinking you might be looking for some crew. Gotta hand it to you, boss. That's a fine looking... Yes, Just give me a shot. That's all I'm asking. You're serious. You're giving me a shot. I put together a little speech. Hey there. I'm Felix Millstone. I have... Firstly, I am highly personable. Secondly, I can be counted on in the event of a... That motto is... Wow. Thanks, boss. I'll just gather my personals and meet you on board.
Really? We're picking up...
Look at that. A real vicar.
Didn't I request no more fertilizer shipments be brought on board? Who keeps ordering these?
Hey, Captain. Can I... So, Junlei and I have been talking some. Through messages, she sent me a poem. I don't know if I should read into it. Because poems are all symbolic. Oh, law. That's what's got... It's about this engine that's been shaking itself apart. Then this lady mechanic comes by and lays one hand... I don't want to get too hopeful, but I'm wondering if maybe she... I don't know where it's leading yet, or I'm not much interested in physical stuff. Never have been. It's been a problem in the past. The folk who wanted to be with me back in the Vale. When folks start implying you're a little different from an automechanical, I guess I just needed to talk. I'm feeling it. I actually had another message from Junlei. I just couldn't work up the courage to open it. Let's see here. Talking about old friends. They were... I don't know. Junlei talked about them like it was past. Captain, I'm feeling all mixed up right now. Could we maybe head to the Groundbreaker? Get some... Thanks, Captain. I'll be ready.
I could spend hours reflecting on the secret workings. So, tell me what... Will do, Captain.
You see we had a conveyor pull in?
So, how's this work? Do we get a table? Stand in a corner?
Scheduled advertisement for the following...
Okay, so... Oh, and don't worry on the price. Oh, wow! You remembered. Bottoms up. Wow, this is... Oh, Captain. I mean, just... I don't know what to do about... Well, she talked about another girl, right? Maybe I've been making a right fool of myself this whole time. Maybe she's not in... It was real long and rambly. She was telling me a story about her dad, how this Isabel lady never quite managed to get her dad's approval, but they carried on anyways. Made something... Then it all went down the tubes. Do you think Junlei still has feelings? Thinking so makes me liable to lose my lunch, Captain. I never done this. I need another drink. Come on, Captain. Okay, maybe you're right. I am. Hydration? Oh, Captain. Everything? Does she think I'm as pretty as I think she's handsome? What if she's still got feelings for that lady, Isabel? Oh, there's nothing easy about spilling. You know I'm not interested in... That's... Well, it's tripped folks up in the past. Folks I thought cared about me for me. Of course. I envy your boldness of spirit, Captain. Gosh, I don't know that I got that in me. Sometimes I suppose so, but... I want to be my best... Well, Captain, this has been a whole... Oh gosh, I All right. There's no need to strip your screws over. Okay. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna ask June out. Just as soon as we get back. Thanks for hearing me out and giving me counsel. And come on.
Hey, that pad down there.
Welcome back. Do wipe the blood and space dust from your feet in the entry bay. Thank you.
Hey, Captain. I hope I wasn't too much bother at the... Some of the drinks we tried I even liked, and I don't feel it today. I guess that water must... I wouldn't mind having a drink again. Someday. I messaged Junlei when we got back, and she replied super quick. Okay. I reread my message in the morning, and it was unclear. I was drinking... Oh, she called mashed potatoes smashed potatoes. But I think I've ruined things in the past because I didn't say things I should have, like, I want to be honest with her, so if she feels... Oh, isn't she sweet? Like one of those 2-bit romances where one soul's all still. I ought to go write her back. I mean, I already did.